Okay, everybody, welcome back. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. Woo-woo! I'm your host, Jeremiah Fox. What's
Jeremiah,
up? Go ahead.
I don't want to miss this note. I hate to interrupt you, but I want to
No,
miss this.
please, go for it.
All right. The great thing about what happened to me in my life, and I built this business, is that I branched off 10 years ago from the business. I started my Fit for Kids company. And my Fit for Kids is is a branch off from what I started with Biggs Enterprises. It's a program where I work with 2 to 8-year-olds, and we have a fitness program. We have anti-bullying program. I have all these different shows that I do for children in schools, preschools, YMCA's, libraries. And then I also did a yoga program, which is a yoga boot camp, combining yoga and boot camp for the same age group. And I have trainers that go out and do this. That's what I am so active in today. So I kind of reinvented myself once again as I got older. So when I ventured out from the personal training in-house and the fitness modeling, now I go into now I reinvent myself again. Fit for Kids, yoga for kids. Now I become this character, Muscle Man Mike. I'm talking to 3-year-olds. We're doing healthy shows. I'm doing anti-bullying shows, going green shows. So, that was like another branch that's been so successful for us. And it just shows you that you could take that foundation is so important, and you can branch off from it like I have.
And was that the chronology? You were doing the fitness modeling, you were doing public speaking, and you were doing in-house, like you were saying, like higher profile people, helping them with their own personal fitness goals. And then you saw this other opportunity.
Well, what happened, Jeremiah, was that I doing the in-house personal training for all those years. And dealing with people is extremely tough, as you all know. And
I do.
Yeah. So I had to I wanted to put something else into place that would be I wanted to put an end game. Mm-hmm. I needed an end game. And I wasn't sure if that was going to be the end game for me to just keep going inside doing in-house training, which I still do, but not a lot. And the Fit for Kids, I needed to reinvent myself. I said, I want to work with the kids. I think they would really appreciate the knowledge, appreciate the years. But you can't just go in and talk to a 3-year-old. They're not going to listen. So maybe if I put a show together, maybe become Muscle Man Mike, put the makeup on, put the superhero shirt on, talk to them about fruits and vegetables and water, bad sugars, good sugars, have some magic. Oh, they love magic. Yeah. Have music, movement. Now, I just started a whole new business. And this was 10 years ago. And my database for my Fit for Kids and Yobu, my database is 4,000 schools. So I travel New Jersey, metropolitan area, all the boroughs, all the way down to Philly.
Yeah. And are they all public schools, or are you doing private and?
Very rarely public schools. It's mostly like your learning experiences, Kiddie Academy, Goddard's, all your private schools, YMCA's, libraries. Remember, 2 to 8. Yeah. 2 to 8. So some public schools, like especially in Staten Island, New York City, they'll have a program for the little ones, and I do go there. But it's predominantly all your corporate run, private run schools, your mom and pops out there that have preschools, daycares. I go in there. It's quite funny. And here's this big guy walking in there. I do these shows, and they love my shows because my personality, the Muscle Man Mike personality, is so creative. It's so cute. They love me. They sit there for 40 minutes. Think about this, a 3-year-old, 40 minutes, and they experience this show. And I love it because they're so genuine. They're all that's good. And they listen, and it's great. And it all started with my healthy show. I did a healthy show with these puppets and stuff. Now I do Going Green. I have a superhero show, Wild West show, anti-bullying. I have all these creative shows that I put together because they kept expanding, because a school would say to me, all you have is one show? And I'd be like, yeah. They go, well, you need more shows. So that now I have about 10 shows, and I would do, until COVID, because I hope you're going to talk about this. Yeah. Until COVID, I would do 3 shows. I would travel and do 3 shows a day.
Wow. That's tough. I mean, I feel your pain because I was teaching kids classes as well, and we were doing 45-minute classes, and you really have to you got to sing and dance, man. You got to do the whole thing just to keep them engaged, and music and up and down and move your body. Now sit down, now back up, and like you got to switch gears really
and you
quick.
have to impress. And in my position, I have to impress the teacher as well, because they want to have you back.
Right.
One-time business is easy. It's reoccurring that's tough.
There's that Gary Vaynerchuk coming through again. It's something in the Jersey tap water, because Tony.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man.
It's so funny when I first got turned on to this guy. I'm like, he sounds just like Tony. Like even like his inflection and his accent. I was like, this is Tony. I was like, I got my own personal Gary. Yeah,
Tony is he is so polished, so knowledgeable, and Tony has a heart that's 100 pounds. He'll give you everything to help you. He's just a beautiful human being.
But he's also just been grinding it out for so long.
He's a hardworking man. He's a hardworking man.
Seriously. He was never the guy to just sit back at a table and be like, I need you guys to do that. That was one of the things I respect about him the most. He was right there doing it with me. He was like, this is what we're going to do. This is the part I need you to do. Yeah. He was great at delegating, but he was never above anything. He was just like, I learned that really well from him, and that's how I am with my staff.
Yeah, I love him. I love him so much.
It makes the biggest difference. So we brought up the COVID. We unearthed the Pandora's box. What happened when stay-at-home orders were issued? What happened in your world?
Well, in my world, like you just said, I go to schools. I do some in-house personal training. That's all I do. Is I'm going somewhere to somebody's place. I'm going to a school, going to a Y. I go inside a facility. When businesses start to fail, or businesses start to go under, or they start to decline in your productivity, you get a warning. You see the numbers going down. Usually, You start to get, and then you can figure out how to Band-Aid it, reinvent again, do something. But when COVID hit, somebody just pulled the electricity out completely, and that was it. It went dark. So I wasn't making a dime, that was devastating. And I had to figure out, like, what am I going to do? And what I thought to do was, I first called Tony up. And he says, you know what? You can't sit around.
Hey, I did the same thing, Mike. Like, same thing. I called him and I was like, I'm takeout only all of a sudden, Tony.
I said, yeah. He goes, Mike, you have the personality. He goes, you kidding me? You the energy, you're the excitement. He goes, do it virtually. And I said, what do you mean virtually? He goes, the Zoom. I go, Zoom?
The Zoom.
What's a Zoom? He goes, it's an app. I go, Zoom.
What's an app?
I guess. He goes, it's an app. It's like Skype. You can do it. These kids can watch you. They'll love it. You'll radiate that energy you have. That it'll radiate through the screen. So I'm thinking, yeah, let me try. So what we've been doing, my wife and I, because she's really runs the business. She's the heart and soul. Yeah. She started making phone calls and said, hey, listen, do you think maybe Mike could do a Zoom show for the kids? Now the schools are closed. So what we did was, the director would send out the Zoom meeting to the parents, and the parents would just sign in. Each child would sign in from their homes, and they would watch me do these programs and shows. And we're doing the yoga the same way, my yoga boot camp. I have the teachers doing it this way. Now I'm generating income again. Yeah. And we're just doing it just like I'm talking to you, which is a beautiful thing. So. Yeah.
Your kids aren't school age anymore, but mine are still. And like that, my wife is a teacher, and I've got two daughters, one in middle and one in elementary, and that's all they do. It's just Zoom, and they've done. I mean, we did a Zoom birthday for our 2-year-old. It became the way of the world.
I just did it yesterday. I did a magic show for the kids. And Muscle Man Mike, healthy, And I did it for a birthday party. It was great. The kid loved it. It's such a shame. These kids can't have these parties and all. But you know what? I make it so awesome for them. And it's almost like I'm there. And fortunately, like I said, thank God, I have that ability to radiate the personality even through the screen. You can feel my energy. I can reach out right now and just grab your shoulders, and you can feel that electricity. I'm that kind of guy,
Yeah, definitely. No, that's why you're in the hot seat for sure. I got that on our first conversation. So that first phone call to Tony, How did it start?
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was a dark cave I was in, and my tone was not like this.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I think I'm gonna lose my house. And I said, my wife is so depressed. I said, I don't know what to do. I said, I'm in a panic mode. I'm starting to think like, you know, am I going to be on the street? Are they going to take my cars? Everything bad was going through my mind.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, when you know, I didn't have that nest egg to live for years. Just, you know, I have enough to live for a couple of months.
Right.
The rest I've invested. I have, you know, I have debt like everybody else. I'm thinking, what do I do? So I thought the person to call would be Tony.
Absolutely.
And because he would give me the best advice, logical advice, and he would also remind me of who me is. And that's what he did. He said, do you know who you are? And I'm like, I'm hurting. He goes, no.
You're Muscle Man Mike.
I'm Muscle Man Mike. He goes, you got the personality. He goes, he's like, you know how Tony talks. He's like, dude, you got it all. You just don't see it. It's all there in front of you. Just take it to another platform. Why don't you get a new website built? Do e-commerce, have subscriptions. You could make a whole new world of this and be even more successful than before COVID.
Well, that's certainly what we're all striving for, right?
So that's where I am in my life. We're actually we're booking up for the summer. We're starting to get some shows. I have a new website being built. I'm going to have subscriptions. I'm going to have all these e-commerce. We're going to have the merch. And then I got the big show, of course.
Yeah. Cool.
And everybody.
Let's take a break and we'll spend the last segment on the big show. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, everybody. We'll be back in just a minute.